Hello, Mountain Lions Nation. You are listening to Lions Verse, a weekly podcast taking you inside the athletic department where you get an opportunity to get to know some of your coaches as well as some of your fellow student athletes. I'm your host, Holly Stevenson, and with me today I have Geoff Kelly from the men's basketball team. Geoff, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me.
Yeah, appreciate you having me. I kind of cut out a little bit here. But yeah, appreciate you having me on here. It's good to see you again.
And also, yeah. Sorry, I lost you there just for a second. So congratulations starting the week off with a win against Adams State.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Very exciting win, especially after I think you guys opened the season against them at home and had a pretty tough loss there. So what kind of adjustments did you make going into the game on Monday?
Yeah, so like you said, when we played them the first time, first game of the season, with a lot of new guys on the team, with really no outside competition before that. So I think the first game, it was, I don't want to say a shock, but it was definitely different than, just playing against each other,
Right.
in practice every day. So coming out, we just weren't really as ready to go. I think they got up to like a 17-0 lead. And, when you're down 17-0 to any team, it's tough to come back. So this time through, we definitely felt more prepared. We got, it was good to get some of the guys back off of injury and everything. So we just felt more confident going in and just comfortable with what we were doing and what we wanted to do. And just kind of, had a better rhythm and better chemistry with each other than the first time around. So it definitely felt a lot better than that first game,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and especially starting off the season in such a weird way that it was because it was delayed a couple of weeks and we weren't even sure if we were even going to start early December or whatever. So kind of speaking on that, how have you feel like you yourself and your team has kind of adjusted to the way the season has been going?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, nobody knew we'd be here today, right?
Yeah.
And it's been tough. It's been tough for me personally, and I know for some of the guys here, it's been kind of tough to stay mentally in it.
Yeah.
And there was a point, in the season where, we play a game and then either one of our guys would, have a positive test or someone on another team would have a positive test, and
Yeah.
there were definitely times where it was, tough to keep that motivation to say, okay, well, we're going to go practice and practice hard for, these weeks. And, we might not play a game this weekend and we might not play a game next weekend. And,
Right.
who knows when we're going to play the next game. So it hasn't been easy, but being around these guys and being around the coaches and everything, they've made it a lot better for me personally, just because
Good.
they're good people. They're my family at the end of the day. So
Right.
I just look forward to going to, see them every day at practice. And I think one of the biggest things Coach Culver has kind of preached is, tomorrow's not, it's not guaranteed to any one of us, So you gotta go out and kind of play like today might be the last day of the season. And I mean, it very well might be, that's
Right.
kind of the best point he has, it might be, they might call off the season tomorrow, so you kind of just got to go out and, you know, take advantage of every moment you can. And that's kind of what's gotten me through this season, and, it's been nice being able to get a rhythm. Like I said, these past couple of weeks, we've
Yeah.
been able to get some games kind of in a row and everything and get some good practices in. So it's been good to kind of get a rhythm and, just get some games in, and kind of we're at the point now where we're playing, 3-4 games a week. And it's
Right.
kind of like, whoa, okay, well, maybe we should take a break, let's give the body a rest. But
Yeah.
it's crazy how it's flipped and everything. But, it's definitely something that, um, you know, you just got to take advantage of it in any way you can. So it's been
Yeah.
interesting. Hasn't always been easy, but it's been fun.
Good. Yeah, I know. It's definitely a different adjustment from last semester going to basically no sports to spring semester where everything seems to have been postponed and rescheduled and stuff. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying there. And kind of piggybacking off of that, has have the postponements and the travel, the adjustments to travel and everything like that, has that been a bigger challenge than the team anticipated? to adjust to? Because like you were speaking a lot, like it's hard to stay motivated. So like with a lot of these postponed games and restricted travel schedules, do you feel like that's been a bigger challenge than you guys anticipated facing?
I think going into the season, we knew, we had a good idea that, this season wasn't going to be normal. This season
Right.
wasn't going to be, everything that a normal season would be, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think, just speaking for myself, it has been a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Especially during those times where, we didn't know we were playing, or we'd be able to practice for 3 days, and then we got to be off for 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
And I think for me it was difficult just kind of going through it,
Right.
especially when you're going through it 2 or 3 times. On that
Yep.
third time it's kind of, oh man, okay, doing this
Right.
again.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like it would play with like my emotions so much. You like get really excited, get ready for a game, and then you hear like 1 or 2 days before that it's not gonna happen, or you have to stop playing for a couple of weeks. So I feel like for me it would just be emotionally draining.
Yeah, definitely. And before the season even started, we talked about that as a team, just kind of trying to stay in it and trying to stay invested, even though we may not know what happens. And me, of course, trying to be a leader and everything, trying to get everybody going and saying, hey, like, just making sure everybody remembers that and knows that we're not guaranteed anything.
Yep.
So trying to keep that positive attitude and everything for all the other guys. But like we were talking about, when you go through it a couple times, it definitely pulls on your emotions. And there were
Mm-hmm.
definitely times where I was like, okay, like this is a lot. This is, maybe they should just cancel the season. When
Right.
we were sitting in that third quarantine, I was like, man, is it worth it at this point? Do I need to
Exactly.
go put some more miles on my body, just
Right.
come back next year? But
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I mean, just having that strong kind of group of coaches and group of guys around me, just being able and being willing just to talk and hang out and find
Mm-hmm.
other things to do when you're going through times like that, and still be able to watch film and do all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With the technology, I think this pandemic has made online stuff just so much easier and so much more accessible.
Yeah.
So it's been cool to implement all that into our team, and just be able to
Yeah.
watch film and talk basketball even when we're not together. So
Mm-hmm.
just small things like that has made it a lot better than if we
Good.
were just completely isolated.
Isolated. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and so the biggest difference right now is like the fans. So do you think it's played a major role in the home games or even away games, I guess, because the other schools can't have fans there. So do you feel like it plays to your advantage? Is it at a disadvantage?
Yeah. Personally, I obviously want fans there. It
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't feel the same without it.
Absolutely.
Um, as far as an advantage or disadvantage, I think, for us, I'd say it's an advantage. We have some guys that, get into it a little bit more. And I think it really just emphasizes how much energy you guys could bring for yourselves.
Yeah.
And whether you're home or away, you can always take that energy with you. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you got guys on the court and on the bench kind of up and cheering and going for each other, and the other team doesn't, that's really the only sound you got in the gym.
Yeah.
So you can feel that more than, if there were fans. Okay, it doesn't matter if that team's, cheering for each other or going,
Right.
happy when one of their guys make a play or something, because you got the fans there to do that.
Right.
So I think for us, it's put an emphasis on, being supportive of each other, and
Mm-hmm.
not being quiet about it, and
Yeah.
that's what, we kind of try to get going, is, bringing our own energy,
Yeah.
just kind of, making sure we're heard, and, whether we're home or away, that's what we need to bring.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no, I agree with that. And you guys are always so animated on the sidelines. So I feel like you guys do bring a lot of energy to the team on the court. So I can only imagine what you guys are like for away games for sure.
okay. Yeah.
But Speaking of fans, I know your dad would come to basically all of your games, and I would always see him interacting with your teammates and the coaches, and occasionally he would come up and talk to George and I either in between games or right before your guys' game or whatever. So, how has he been doing, having not being able to be there in person? And like, do your teammates, do your coaches miss him too? Because he said, I almost thought like when I first started at UCCS that he was a part of the coaching staff because I saw him there was so often.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he really is part of the team, and once he stopped coaching me, when I came to college, he's like, I still got to find a way to be a part of it, and
Yeah.
his thing was like, okay, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna get you guys water. I'm gonna get you guys towels, so you
Yeah.
guys are comfortable. And him not being able to be there it's definitely different, because like you said, I have a pretty loud voice, but his voice is booming compared to mine,
Absolutely.
And if he's there, he's there, and he
Yeah.
doesn't have an issue kind of coming and grabbing you and getting in your face and giving you a hug and everything. So
Yeah.
his presence is definitely missed, and I know all the guys miss it, and I know the coaches miss it.
Yeah.
And I know it's been hard for him. I'll talk to him, and we'll talk about the games and everything, and kind of how everybody's doing and how everybody's feeling or what happened in the game, and we'll break it down. So we'll do that, after games and everything, and he keeps it kind of mellow, and then I'll talk to my mom or my sister or something, and they're like, Geoff, we got to get over this. We got to figure out something to do, because he's in there yelling at the computer, watching the game and everything, and he's going crazy, and we can't handle it anymore. And so I know it's going, it's hard for him to not be able to be here, and he's kind of going through it because he loves it just as much as us. And I know all of us love having him here, so it's been tough, but he knows what he's supposed to do and what he's not supposed to do, so he's still kind of making his voice heard throughout the team from a couple miles away. So
Good.
Can't wait to have him back over here and kind of get back to normal.
Yeah, I definitely know whenever we're allowed to have fans back in the stadiums, I definitely see him being the first in line for that.
Oh yeah.
So you are a senior this year. So congratulations on that. It's a big year for you. Do you plan on taking the extra year that the NCAA gave everyone? What are sort of your future plans for?
Yeah. So I'll be here at UCCS either way. Just finish up my master's program, and whether I'll play or not, I'll still have to work with the coaches and everything to kind of see what we're doing, see how my body feels and everything, after this season. So that's kind of a decision I'll make kind of towards the end of the season, going into next year, and just see kind of what's the best for me and what's the best for the team and everything, and what the team needs at that point. So we'll see. Let's still keep playing if my body and everything feels right. But at the same time, if like I said, going back to my dad, he there's times where it's your mind says you can keep going, and then you start to take a step or something, and your body's like, oh you're not doing that anymore, buddy. So,
no, absolutely. Not saying you're old by any means, but definitely your body starts to age just a little bit, and you can start to feel it for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but either way, I know I'll be happy with the decision, and around great guys either way, so it's gonna be good.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I can't remember if in the last interview we did with you, if we asked you what your major was, but remind me if we did. What is your major, and what made you decide to focus on that?
Yeah, so I graduated with a bachelor's in finance. Then I'm doing my MBA with an emphasis in finance. So just a big finance guy, really. And I think really what got me into finance growing up is, I just love games. And I remember my mom always talked to me about the stock market and how it was kind of like a game, and that's all I needed to hear. It's a game.
It's just different mentality for it. That's awesome.
Right,
yeah.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of all it took to kind of get me looking into it and looking deeper into it. And then kind of the competitive side of me came out. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm really gonna, be interested in this, I got to look into it a little bit more and really study it and understand it. And then, I mean, freshman, sophomore year, kind of just got into the business classes and just, fell in love with it. It kind of made sense to me. And, it's definitely something, I see myself doing in the future.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of what got me into it and where I'm at.
That's good. Okay, so being in
Sorry, I think it cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. So you're into like the stock market, did you gain or lose any money with GameStop, investing
So
or not investing in GameStop?
yeah, so I actually didn't invest in GameStop. You know, looking back at it, I should have, but yeah, I wasn't in
Yeah.
GameStop at that point. It was super interesting to see though.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to end this interview just a little bit differently because I don't want this to be super similar to the last one. So I have a handful of rapid fire questions. They'll start out kind of easy. The other ones I just want to see what your reactions are. So don't think too much about it. Just like whatever your gut reaction is to them.
All right, sounds good.
First one, Lucky Charms or Cocoa Puffs?
Cocoa Puffs,
Peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and marshmallow fluff?
peanut butter and jelly,
Okay. Favorite color?
blue.
Go-to hype song?
Oh, oh. I see. That's the thing. I don't even listen to music to get hype.
Okay. So no song. Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Iced coffee.
Okay. LeBron or Michael Jordan?
LeBron.
Okay. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Okay. Who would you want to play in a movie about your life?
John Legend.
Nice. Okay. I see that. That works. Okay. What is your most used emoji?
The laughing emoji for sure.
Okay. What is a pet peeve of yours?
People chewing in my ear. I hate that.
Oh, that is the worst.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Anything
can't
by my
stand it.
ear too. Yeah.
Right.
What is one thing your parents taught you that's really changed your life?
Love everybody like their family.
I
Yeah,
like that.
that's the big thing.
That's awesome. Very good. What was your dream job growing up as a kid?
So when I was a little kid, my dream job was to be a trash truck driver.
No
That was,
way.
yeah, that was my thing. I always wanted to do that.
So you could drive on the back of the truck. Is that what you wanted to do?
Yep, exactly. I thought that was the coolest thing when I was a little kid.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Last questions. If you could be an expert in anything today, what would it be?
Mm,
Like
if I,
instantly good at it.
if I could be an expert at anything today, it would probably be coaching.
Coaching.
Like if I just
Okay.
knew how to like coach anybody and everybody,
Cool.
I think that'd be the coolest thing. And I don't know, I feel like I'd be able to implement so much stuff just
Yeah.
going forward after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. What kind of coaching style do you think you'd have then?
I think so. Just as like a personality, I would say more. I won't say like passive, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think like I'm a big yeller, you know. So
Yep.
just trying to like get to know guys and just find different ways to attack, people and really just get to know guys and everything, depending
Yeah.
on what they needed. So
More like the one-on-one type of
right,
coaching and kind of
right,
getting to tailoring it to individual players is what it sounds like.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, that's all I have for you. I want to thank you again for taking time out of your morning to talk to me. It's always good to talk to you and getting to know you a little bit more. Mountain Lions, join me next week as we sit down with the UCCS Compliance Officer, Alexander Kohler. And until then, enjoy the rest of your week.
Appreciate